One of the reasons I wanted to mention that blessing of God's love in the world is because today's sermon focuses on a different part of the passage. I know that John 3:16 is in the reading today, but I also want to point us to something interesting going on, and it's a bit mysterious, but hopefully encouraging for us. So the gospel lesson, John 3:16, is a part, but it begins in verse 14, where you saw it says, Jesus is lifted up as a serpent in the wilderness was. And it's mentioning that Numbers story where Moses creates the serpent and as God tells him to and holds it up. And when the people look upon it, they are healed from the snake bites and from the death that came from them. The snakes are tormenting the people, and it's connected to their weariness and their rebellion. And in John's gospel, the connection is Jesus is lifted up on the cross. And in our weariness and rebellion, we look upon Jesus and we're healed and saved. So like I said before we read Numbers, the people had been traveling on a weary way and they had grown impatient. And the writer writes them in a way where they seem like a lot of complainers and gripers. They're kind of caricatured that way, it seems, but it's not hard to imagine what they were going through. They're traveling, and sometimes it says they're wandering the desert, right? For 40 years. And they don't know the plan. They're not holding the map. God hasn't laid out for the people a GPS-like navigation system where they know here's where we're going, and here's approximately how long it's going to take to get there, and here are some various routes we'll take when we encounter traffic. They don't have any of that. It says they're wandering. To the point where one of the complaints that we got in our section today, it even sounds a little bit silly, like parents or grandparents or teachers might have noticed. There's some wordplay there. The complaint in this passage of Numbers is, there is no food and no water, and we detest this terrible food. Wait, what terrible food? I thought you said there was no food. See, the wanderers may be delirious, but for 40 years, I can't blame them for being this way, and maybe this is why it's a Lenten passage about traveling on the journey and the challenge to trust again and again, and hopefully owning up to the moments when we are delirious or selfish. Thinking about it, the doubt and the complaining there on such a hard journey, I wonder if the attitude of some of the people, if it seemed a bit poisonous. If their words and their bickering and their mistrust of God and their mistrust of each other, if it was hurtful and damaging like a venomous snake. The Hebrew word says it was burning. It was a fire. And we've said that in our culture. Words can sting. Someone can say something and it feels like it has venom in it. The story goes that God sends snakes into the camp. Some are bitten, some people even die, and that then they turn around and repent and they go to Moses and say, pray for us, make it right. We need to be right again. Make the snakes stop. And then we have this word from God, a kind of strange solution. Make a serpent out of bronze, put it on a banner pole, and when any are bitten, they will look upon it and be healed. Ultimately, this snake, what people have grown to fear in this story, and maybe a symbol of their words against God and each other, it's causing death. But ultimately, they are instructed, look at the likeness of what is causing pain and sickness for you. See it and be healed. Look at the likeness of what is causing pain and sickness for you. Easier said than done, right? Confront the truth. This is a truth in the Lenten desert, a call to honesty and clarity and the hard work of seeing. I was talking with our office staff this week about confession and forgiveness, and we were noting how we begin our liturgy with confession and forgiveness each time, and why we do that, and how we will explain in newsletters pieces of the liturgy to teach and encourage each other. And it's a good thing to remember in this Lenten time too, because that moment is another moment. It's like raising a symbol on a banner pole to the people, acknowledging that we should not and we cannot hide from our hurts and pains, those done to us and those we have done. So at the beginning of our coming together, we try to confront it. We name them. It's like we bring out the snakes in the camp and say, I see you. I know what you've been up to, and I don't want the pain of trying to ignore you. I want healing. There's a Catholic archbishop from Brazil, Dom Helder Câmara, who wrote a book called The Desert is Fertile. So it's already a paradox. But in the book he says, do not fear the truth. Hard as it may appear, grievously as it may hurt, it is still right, and you were born for it. If you go out and meet and love it, let it exercise your mind. It is your best friend and closest sister. The desert is fertile. So I'm saying there's some truth behind the snake that is held up. They see it, and it is healing for them to see it. I thought this week too about monsters. Then I was trying to imagine I didn't want to put a snake up on our cross for today, but just thinking about it and ruminating. And I thought about misunderstood monsters. What are the kind of monsters who have something to teach folks? And it's not a strange movement in literature. This is kind of even its own genre, right? Like Frankenstein. But there have been more contemporary examples, and one that I like, a recent depiction. It's beautiful, but kind of mysterious, so don't take this as a total recommendation. But did you see Guillermo del Toro's 2017 movie, The Shape of Water? It won the Oscar that year for Best Picture. And it's because it has brilliant colors and surprising moments, and it feels different, like the movie feels watery. If you don't like that, then don't watch it, but if you're interested. And it's acted really well too. And the director was inspired. He said he wanted to make a film that was kind of like Creature from the Black Lagoon. And that's sort of what it is. He almost made it in black and white, but the studio wouldn't let him. But the military has captured a creature that's sort of a fish and sort of a man, and one of the characters finds him very lovely, and other characters find him fascinating, and others think he's detestable. Long story, but the point for this morning is, in the movie, this fish man snaky character is the monster. But we know as the viewers, we just know from the movement and flow of the film that he is not there to do monstrous things. We're in on the truth about him. But the captured creature in the tank is an image in which all the other characters of the movie, they're seers who look in upon him, and they're invited to see something deeper and mostly about themselves, like to see ways that they have held to indifference or racism or have feared diversity, or to sense how they have lived small lives of fear instead of openness and trust, or to sense how there is even a monster inside of them and that they are the scary ones. And that wouldn't even be the worst thing, but the worst thing might be to not be able to see that about yourself. To miss a moment of repentance and turning around. So they have a chance at change when they see this creature, like a symbol that's lifted up, a truth symbol. Well, the Gospel of John says, just as Moses lifted up a snake in the wilderness, Jesus is lifted up. We look upon Jesus. And it is love. But it's also a truth that we couldn't handle such extravagant love. That the world took the message of God's kingdom from Jesus and didn't want to fully see it, didn't want to fully hear it, couldn't believe that that could be the right way out of our desert. And so we put love to death. And in Lent, and when Holy Week gets here, we are invited to have the courage to face sin and violence and death that we have held on to confront it and to see it lifted up and to trust God when God says, look upon this and be healed. See it, believe, and have peace. For God so loved the world. But love isn't easy. Love is hard work. So it's good that we have gifts and blessings for the journey. Remember them today. The shape of the water of our baptism. It's dangerous and good because it's dying and rising. It's hard work, but remember your baptism. And the food of forgiveness in communion is where all the hungry are fed. We are sustained in our desert. We're invited this morning, like we are every Sunday, to taste and see that the Lord is good. Taste and see. Amen.